In the second sneak peek for the June update, we have a new troop. How broken do you think it will be? So, the new troop is called the DRUID. It is unlocked when you upgrade your Dark Barracks to level 11. And this is unlocked at Town Hall 14. It comes with 4 levels total, 2 at Town Hall 14, 1 at Town Hall 15, and 1 at Town Hall 16. And the DRUID is, in the description, a helpful healer, which after 30 seconds turns into an angry bear. This is a ground troop, so it cannot be killed like healers can by seeking air mines. They cannot be sprung by spring traps since it is 16 housing space. So, when you upgrade the Dark Barracks to level 11, which is 13 days, you unlock the DRUID. It is a helpful healer, turns into a very angry bear. So, once you upgrade this, you unlock the DRUID. We find its stats. At level 1, it has 110 heal. When we upgrade it again, the max level for the DRUID is level 4. It has 1600 hit points and it heals 140. So, as you can see in the preview, it is healing the giants. It can heal 5 targets. It's 16 housing space. Its heal type is single target, so they have to be quite close to each other. And after 30 seconds, it becomes an angry bear. And this has 4400 hit points. It has 180 damage per second, which you'll notice is more damage than the Root Riders. However, they don't go through walls. So if they're stuck somewhere in a base, it's quite difficult for them. So it is a bit difficult to use, but I think there are definitely use cases for this troop, mainly because it's a ground troop. So unlike the healers, you cannot hit them with seeking air mines or red bombs to kill them. This will continuously heal, and it's too much housing space for a spring trap to hit it. So it is going to be quite useful on smash attacks instead of some healers, to save some healers. Also, you save some troop space from the balloons, since you don't need cocoa loads. And it's also useful in other attacks, simply to heal ground troops, which I will show later in this video. So, what I think the main way to use the DRUID will be in smash attacks. Here you can see I start a water walk right on top of the Dark Barrack, which looks really good actually. On this water walk, I'm using the Rage Gem, so my healers are raged. You'll notice I only have 3 healers. This is because I have the Druids, which heal. The Warden doesn't need that many healers for the water walk. If at the worst case scenario, I can use a Rage. I have a good Flinger, of course, and all I will do is get 3 Druids with the 4 Super Bowlers, and I will try and push to the core. The key can be on the outside, and we'll just see how the push goes. I think it's quite nice to note that you save a lot of housing space by needing less healers, which are quite high in housing space, and also you don't need the Cocoa Loons. You could basically swap a healer for a Druid, where you save some housing space from not having the Cocoa Loons. So here I am able to add the Apprentice Warden, which is almost like a life gem, and 4 Super Bowlers. You can see the Druids at the start, making sure the bowlers are healed, and you can see how the little bar is going up. So once it hits 30 seconds, they're going to turn into a bear. So on this attack I have lots of rages, and let's just see how the core goes. The moment the bowlers are super high health, they're completely chilling, and this is quite interesting to me because now I use the one ability to get a bit lower, but they do heal quite a bit, and the weakness of bowlers is without the life gem, they're quite squishy. But here they had no problem, they're all alive in the core, and you can see the bears, they're alive, they're raged, and they can do quite a bit of damage here to the walls. Sadly, they are quite weak when it comes to this. This is their only weakness, I would say, is that they can get stuck on walls, and once they're stuck on walls, they don't do too much more in the attack, but the job of them is to be a support troop, in my opinion. It's simply a ground healer, which, once the healing runs out, it can do a bit of extra DPS in the middle. Maybe it helps you be absolutely certain that you've got the entire middle, which is very nice. But after that, you kind of need a plan to get the rest back end of the base, which here was the World Champion and the Rocket Dudes. So this is probably going to be the main way that it is used, but there are definitely other use cases and other armies that the Druid can be useful in. The next way, which I think the Druid can be very useful, is in Queen Charge Hybrid. However, it is now Queen Charge Miners with Druids. The reason I have removed the Hogs is because the strength of Queen Charge Hybrid at the start was that the Hogs would basically tag for the World Champion, so the World Champion could survive. However, the weakness was that they would often run far ahead and die. Now, however, with the Spirit Fox on the World Champion, she stays alive much easier than before in previous Town Halls. So, if you have the Druids instead of the Hogs, it helps heal the Miners on entries that aren't too heavy, and then you could save the Ward ability for a better time, and you only need one heal, rather than at lower Town Halls, or when Miners were previously used, you would often have 2 heals. But now that you have the Druid and the healing tome as well, I think Queen Charge Hybrid or Queen Charge Miners will be quite a strong army. Well, as usual with this army, charging the Town Hall is probably the easiest and nicest way to do it, so this is what I do here. Queen gets a bit low, and I have to redirect her into the middle. Sadly, there's quite a lot of damage, so she did go to ability, but... oh, does she not? Well, she goes to ability now, but it's fine. The Town Hall's down, and now we just need to get the Druids going with the Miners. So I get the Miners down, and the Apprentice Warden, since I don't have a life chip, and I put all the Druids down. You'll see that the Miners are being healed while they go into the first compartment. So I rage them to go through the compartment, and I don't need to use a heal or the Warden ability early in the attack. It sent the King somewhere else, and now I use the Warden ability once the Druids are getting closer to becoming the bear, and during the healing talk, my troops are virtually full health. I still have a heal, so even though there's a rage compartment, I have a heal. Now you basically see that Queen's still alive, King RC is still alive, and there's a lot of Miners alive. Without the Druids, I think there would not be this many Miners alive. The only sad part is, I think the bear is a bit random. Here, the bear was quite nice, came around, helped the Queen a bit. However, this bear, suddenly it happened to pop right while it was in a dead zone, and now it's stuck there the whole attack. So, once the healing runs out, they aren't as useful, but sometimes they can pop in a good spot, so it's a bit random. However, they kind of did their job. For me, the job of the Druid in this attack is to heal early, so that you don't have to invest too many spells, and you can use those spells and Warden ability at a better time, and this virtually saves you as 2 spell space or a Warden ability, and they still do help with the push, so the push is not weak. And I think Queen Charge Hybrid, or whatever you want to call this new army, will be very, very fun and also very, very strong. So I'm very interested to see if people use it like this, and also how people decide to use the Druid, because I'm sure there's a way to use this that I have not seen and not mentioned in this video. So maybe we'll make some videos on that in the future. Now I'll move on to some more attacks. I'll do another Queen Charge Hybrid, and I'll show you what happens when you go into a bit too much damage and the Druids can't quite heal enough. Okay, so here's another replay. Once again, I simply charge the Town Hall, and then I will send Druids into one of the scatters. So I decided to go into this scatter. However, compared to the last replay, there was a bit more damage with the Queen, the Cannon, the Multi, Scatter Expo. There's quite a bit more concentrated damage, and you'll see that sometimes you cannot just let the Druids heal, because the Miners don't have that much HP compared to like a bowler. So here I decided not to use the Ward ability or a heal spell, but because of all the giant bombs and also the heavy damage, a lot of my Miners are really weak, and the Druids kind of are ignoring one of the groups. This group is being less ignored, but you'll see a lot of Miners are dead. So a tiny bit into attack, and all I have left really is my World Champion. The Druids are here, sadly in a dead zone, and these Miners, well, we look and there is 0 miners alive. So be careful. If you go into a heavy compartment, also with giant bombs, with enemy heroes, scanners, cannons, the druids might not be enough healing to keep your troops alive. So you need to make sure that you use the spells, the warn ability at the right time. On this attack, it would have been much better to use the warn ability early, whereas in the previous attack, it didn't matter and I could save the warn ability for the core. I'll now show this again with the warn ability used early and we'll see the difference that it makes. So, here's the replay again. We can ×2 through the Queen charge, as that's not the most important thing here. Simply a Town Hall charge, and then we want to send the druids into this scatter. So I'll actually ×4. Charge is the same as before. It needs to deal with the Town Hall, the CC and the Monolith, and then the druids can be started. So now, CC is being dealt with, we can already start the hype. Or the miners. Send all the miners, I get the druids. This time I spread them out a bit more, so that hopefully each one is healing a separate group, so as many miners as possible can be healed, rather than the druids being stacked and healing only the same number of miners. I get everything down, and I decide to Rage and Taunt instantly. This way I get through this annoying section of the base earlier. Then I have the miners all alive, the druids healing for a bit, and then I can delay my heal spell. So the druids do last for 30 seconds. So now, when you're hitting a multi-poison tower, multi-archer tower, you may need to heal, but because of the druids, I don't need to heal right now. I let my troops go through. Now some of the druids become bears. Sadly, don't do as much work, but you'll notice that I get to almost the back end of the base, and I still have a heal. Because of the healing tome as well, and the synergy that the healing tome brings to this army, instead of having to have 2 heals for a hybrid attack, this time I only have 1 heal, and it's being used actually right at the end of the attack. You could argue that with an extra rage or 2 freezes, you could get through this base without any heals. I will still rig and heal because it's nice, but you'll see I still have miners alive right at the end. Whereas when I didn't use the warn ability, I had no miners alive after the first compartment. So the timing of the abilities and spells is very important when you use the druids. But if you use them effectively, they can be really, really strong. So I mean, this is a really cool troop and addition to the game, and I'm super excited to see how everyone uses it. That's it for Sneak Peek 2. Hopefully you enjoyed the new troop and see some use cases for it. I certainly do. Leave a comment for the way you would use this troop. And make sure you have a creator code in the shop. Ours is code BLUE. And if you want to know more information about this update with a detailed, very detailed, in-depth summary, you can check the description, the pinned comment, and also our blog. And stay tuned for more epic update videos. Thanks for watching.